The Lions Eye Institute for Transplant and Research is the only one of its kind in the entire world. They are dedicated to the recovery, evaluation, and distribution of eye tissue, and they're located in Ybor City. How long has Lions Eye been around?
Well, our program was started in 1973 by the Lions of Tampa Bay to provide the gift of sight to those that are blind or visually impaired. And we do that through transplant and through research. If you sign up to be a donor, people wonder, well, how does that process take place? Well, we're the team that comes out to do the recovery for transplant and research, restoring sight to those that are blind or visually impaired.
So how many people are actually blind or visually impaired?
Well, the number is astronomical. People don't realize that roughly 285 million people around the globe are blind or visually impaired. That's just a staggering number to know that there's people that do not have their sight. Since 1973, our inception, we have brought the gift of sight to over 60,000 men, women, and children around the world. Roughly, I tell people it's filling up on a good day at Tampa Stadium. You can imagine the entire stadium filled with people that have had their sight restored through transplantation from our program. Imagine the face of your watch being the cornea that we would be transplanted. If that's distorted, if it's scratched, had disease, if it was broken or busted, once we fix that, your watch would work perfectly.
Wow, I never thought of it like that.
That's exactly the same thing we're doing through a cornea transplant. It's almost, if you're looking at like a camera, it's the lens. If it's not working in the back part of it, that would cause a problem, but the lens of what you see out day to day, that's the part that we transplant.
So is it true that everyone will have eventually someday some sort of a sight impairment?
If you live long enough, you are guaranteed to be visually impaired, which is a very, very strong statement. You'll see at a very young age, you can see children already wearing glasses. They're visually impaired. You'll see obviously our parents, ourselves, our grandparents having cataract surgery, things of that nature. So yes, that's true. That's a number that we have to admit that there's no way any of us are going to be getting around this. We help all ages. It's interesting enough, we've had young recipients as low as 2 or 3 months old that needed a transplant, and we've had a recipient as high as over 100 years old from there. So any type of individual, the value of their sight, you can't really measure that, and the ability to have restored vision.
Is there any other institute like this in the area or the state?
There's not. We are the only combined eye bank research center in the country. As far as I know, possibly worldwide. Because what makes our program interesting, we're not directly affiliated with any other program, so we're a standalone entity, which allows us more opportunities for growth and expansion. We really have 3 heads to our organization. We have the transplant side. We have a foundation that helps people. Maybe a young child does not have a Braille reader in her school. Maybe all of a sudden that somebody needs assistance with a surgery. Maybe someone needs a gratis cornea. As far as that, we've never turned down anyone's as far as on their ability to pay for any type of surgery since our inception. And lastly, we have the research arm, which is probably the most exciting for our program right now, is that our board has really stepped out of its bounds. Instead of looking at sight just for one person, we're looking at groundbreaking research that potentially could help millions around the world. So what we've been able to do since 1973, if we come up with a new research innovation here, could help millions overnight.
What's the longest distance someone has traveled to come here for eyesight or for research?
From Singapore. We actually had researchers from Singapore. We've had researchers from Switzerland come here on some joint projects. We've had Emory, Duke, Harvard, just to name a few that have come into our facility, and all the major pharmaceutical companies as well come into our facility.
Is it easy to become a donor?
I think most of us think about signing up to be a donor of going down to the DMV. Well, that's no longer needed. You can now, within 5 minutes, to go to the website, just the state website, donatelifeflorida.org, and you actually can donate right there, register as a donor. And then from that information, it takes less than 5 minutes. And you also have an opt-out option there. Even though very few people actually use that option, you could always change your mind. If down the road you wanted to, it's not something that you're permanently locked into. Then when we have that information, because we have access to the DMV, when we receive the death from the hospital notifying us, we're able to check that database, the DMV database, to know those are your wishes, and we are able to honor your wishes knowing that you wanted to help someone else. We have multiple volunteer operation. As I mentioned, one of our other sides of our organization is the foundation. We have fundraising events throughout the year. We have our Race for Sight each year. We have our Eyeball every year. It's one of the top 10 events that are in the Tampa Bay area. This year we'll have roughly 400 people, and it's going to be celebrating our 40 years this year. We have a lot of guest speakers, people coming in. It's going to be casino night. It's actually a speakeasy theme, so it's going to be held at Pep and Hart Center on November 9th of this year, and it's going to be an amazing night of just really celebrating the gift of sight and the miracle that's given from renewed vision.
If you have questions about the research they're doing here, or transplants, or if you'd like more information about becoming a donor, rest assured you can always contact them right here in the heart of Ybor City.